Our series begins with a girl named Jamila who has everything life could offer: money, beauty, and comfort. When her mother drops her off at the apartment where she will be living for the duration of her university studies, since their home is a bit far from the university, her mother reminds her to take care of herself and lock the door well. She also gives her medicine to reduce anxiety because Jamila cannot sleep without it. After making sure she is settled and helping her furnish the apartment, her mother leaves. Jamila gets ready for her first lecture, but on the very first day as she walks, her heel gets stuck in the ground and she almost falls flat on her face. A handsome young man appears out of nowhere and saves her, catching her before she falls. He also retrieves her shoe, hands her books to her, and introduces himself as Tao. He sees her schedule and discovers they are in the same section. She introduces herself and tells him her name is Jamila, and they decide to go to their lectures together. The moment they walk in, he introduces her to his friend Kujik, who seems introverted and does not pay much attention to Jamila. The three of them decide to sit together, and suddenly the professor walks in and announces a surprise test. Our heroine gets very tense because she was not prepared, and this test would count toward her monthly grades. She did not know what she was going to do until suddenly a girl passing by tells our heroine that the eraser on the floor is yours. Our heroine says, "No, it is not mine." The girl tells her, "Just listen, it is yours." Our heroine is puzzled and takes the sticky note from her, only to be shocked to find the girl has written the answer she needed on it. Our heroine is overjoyed and quickly writes down the answers and hands in the paper immediately, ending up with a perfect grade. She becomes curious to get to know this girl and thank her, but finds her introverted and not talking to anyone at all. When she goes to have lunch, two girls come and introduce themselves to her, and while sitting with them, she sees this girl pass by again. She is still about to talk to her when the girl gives her a strange look and walks away. Our heroine wonders about this, and when her classmates notice, they tell her this girl's name is Ginny, and she is a strange person with no friends at all, and nobody talks to her. She is actually the top of their year, but she seems mean. Jamila wonders why she is so isolated and feels sorry for her. After finishing lunch, her classmates drag her against her will to the cheerleading club so she is not lonely and can participate in activities. They also tell her this counts toward her grades, so she decides to join. The moment she arrives, the team leader tells her they are filming a video today and posting it on TikTok to gain followers for their account. Our heroine agrees to be filmed on the condition that the leader shows her the video before posting it. She then gets acquainted with the team, who notice she is wealthy when they see her bag and ask how much it costs. She tells them she does not know. It is her mother's bag, but it looks like an expensive brand. They tell her how lucky you are that your mother buys you designer bags, and look at ours, old and ugly. They basically expect her to offer them her bag, but our heroine turns out to be sharp and says, "Well, that is your mother's problem for not buying you nice bags." She decides to leave them, but one of the girls grabs her and says she wants her to come get food with her. Since Jamila is polite, she agrees to get food for her, but then around 5 or 6 more show up, all saying they want food too, and each one orders something expensive. Our heroine honestly is not affected and buys everything they want. She sits down before practice for a bit and suddenly finds Tao coming with his camera filming her and complimenting her beauty, which makes her very embarrassed. When practice time comes, she politely asks the girls if they will pay in cash or transfer the money. They pretend not to understand and say, "Will we pay for what we ate? Seriously? This was not that much money. You have a designer bag, so a little food like this is nothing." Our heroine is stunned by their boldness and says, "Yes, still. When am I getting my money?" They tell her there's no money and continue arguing with her. The team leader decides to postpone the issue and go to practice. After finishing, she goes to the library to study and suddenly gets a notification that they posted a video from practice. She goes to watch it and is shocked to find whoever filmed it shot from a bad angle. She gets very angry because she asked the leader to show her the video first before posting it. She goes to confront her, only to find the team is outside at the field for practice now. She is tired of them and does not want to join this club anymore and decides not to go to practice. But two girls from the team spot her and run after her to drag her back. She runs quickly and hides in the bathroom while they keep looking everywhere for her. Suddenly, Ginny appears and tells them there is nobody in the bathroom except her, so they leave. Our heroine comes out and thanks her because she helped her, but Ginny is not interested. Jamila tries to start a conversation and asks if she is free to have lunch together, but Ginny refuses. Suddenly, her friend Emmy arrives, so Jamila introduces her to Ginny, who says hello and walks away. Emmy gets upset, thinking she is arrogant, but Jamila says she is just quiet and always seems introverted. Emmy does not care and says she wants to go out today. Jamila says she has a lot of studying to do, but Amy says that is exactly why they should go out today, because in a few days studying will start and exams will approach, and today they are free and must enjoy their time before getting buried in exams. She manages to convince our heroine to go out. When they go there, they sit drinking lemonade, and a pig named Zach notices our heroine starting to lose consciousness and tries to approach her against her will. But Tao notices and saves her from his hands. He decides to walk her home himself and leaves her at the bathroom while he goes to get his car keys. When he returns, he cannot find her because Zach took advantage of her being alone and took her in his car, intending to assault her against her will. She was unable to defend herself and was about to lose consciousness completely when suddenly Ginny appears and beats Zach severely. She then takes our heroine from the car and stays by her side until she starts to regain consciousness. Our heroine is surprised and asks her what she is doing here. Ginny tells her she works during vacations because she needs money and asks her what she is going to do now. Jamila says she does not know, and also Emmy is not answering her, and she does not know how to get home alone. Suddenly, she finds Tal looking for her everywhere, and the moment he sees Ginny, he greets her. Our heroine is surprised and asks him how he knows Ginny, and he tells her she was with him in secondary school. She tells him, "Good. How can I get closer to Ginny because I would love to get to know her and have her as a friend?" He tells her, "It is not a matter of you approaching her. She is used to always being alone and having no friends, so it will be a bit difficult. But if you keep showing interest, it is possible they could become friends someday." When our heroine goes to university the next day, she discovers her allowance is almost running out. So she goes to the cheerleading team and tells them she wants the money they owe her for the food. But they still refuse to give her anything and exploit the fact that she is kind and does not know how to stand up for herself. They keep insulting her. Ginny then arrives and sees what is happening. She confronts them, argues with them, and gets all of them to return the money and brings Jamila her rightful amount. Jamila is overjoyed and follows Ginny until she finally agrees to have lunch with her, and Jamila manages to get her number. The two of them gradually become friends. Afterwards, Zach appears and Jamila tries to escape from him. She goes home, she realizes she forgot to bring something and goes back for it. At that moment, she is shocked to see her father cheating on her mother. She has a nervous breakdown after discovering that all this time she had been living with a dishonest father. She had thought her parents loved each other, but sadly, all of that turned out to be a lie. She does not know where to go or what to do and keeps wandering the streets crying until she finds herself in front of a river and gets very close to it, staring at it. Ginny happens to pass by at that moment and sees her and thinks she is about to do something drastic. So she quickly comes down and hits her to bring her back to her senses and asks what she is doing. Our heroine answers that she was not thinking about anything and was just getting some fresh air. When Ginny notices her condition is not good, she decides to walk her home and stays with her to listen. Jamila tells her everything and that she discovered today her father had been cheating on her mother all this time and she cannot bear it because her father was someone very precious to her in her life and she wanted to marry someone like him, but he has turned into the person she hates the most. Ginny tries to comfort her and tells her she is by her side and not to worry, everything will pass. Because of Ginny's presence, our heroine falls asleep for the first time without medication. But when she wakes up the next day, she does not find Ginny. She goes down to university and finds videos everywhere of Zach apologizing to her for what happened and confessing he loves her and asking for one chance to prove his sincerity. She gets tense and does not know how to act until Ginny appears and tells her the professor urgently needs them and takes her away. The day passes peacefully and she is rid of Zach's boldness and burden. But when she goes to university the next day, she is shocked to see a video spreading of Zach spending the night with a girl. Though it is not clear who the girl is, she knows he was a pig and a player and was playing games with her, and the previous day was confessing his love while at night he was cheating on her. She decides that if he comes near her again, she will make his life miserable. Afterwards, she goes to have lunch near the university, and when she arrives, she discovers Ginny works there. She feels very sorry for her that she is forced to work more than one job just to be able to pay the rent for her accommodation and afford food and drink. She happens to be sitting there when she hears the manager talking to Ginny in a terrible manner, saying she is a thief who stole money and threatening to report her. Ginny tries to explain she did nothing wrong and she is not like that and is innocent, but he still will not leave her alone and keeps insulting and humiliating her. Our heroine happens to pass by and decides to help her. She films a video of this man while he is insulting Ginny and wanting to hit her and then throws water in his face and threatens to hand this over to the police. He gets scared, of course, and apologizes to Ginny. She then tells him, "If you really want me to delete it, you must apologize to Ginny and pay her compensation." She keeps pressing him and gets her colleagues' rights and also takes money from him. Ginny is very happy that our heroine got her rights back and thanks her. They return home and Jamila decides to sit with her for a bit to keep her company. When she finds her hair is not combed, she starts fixing it for her and they keep talking together. At that point, our heroine feels Ginny is a very good person and the best friend she has made in a long time. She decides to stand by her side just as Ginny stood by her many times and offers that she come live with her to save money, and they can split expenses in half. This way she would not need to work more than one job. Ginny thinks about refusing, but our heroine keeps insisting until she finally agrees. Ginny moves in with her, and our heroine feels completely at ease and tells her this house is your house. She also falls asleep before her. Ginny takes advantage of the opportunity when she finds our heroine's phone lit up with a notification. She goes to check it and finds a message from her father apologizing for what happened and saying she is misunderstanding and that he and her mother no longer have a relationship. And this woman is his girlfriend. Of course, he could not say something like this for fear of affecting her mental state. So Ginny deletes this message and blocks her father from the phone. It appears here that Ginny is not as good as we thought, and there is a big secret behind her. Of course, our heroine does not know what happened. She wakes up the next day upset and sad that her father did not send her any message or even think to call her. Ginny pretends to be clueless and says, "What would you gain even if he called or messaged you? You are finally free of him," and says he is not a good person. Our heroine tells her, "You are right, friend. Even if he tries to contact me, I will never speak to him again." They then both go to university, and on the way they meet Emmy, who stops our heroine and tells her there is a short film and they are looking for a lead actress and she recommended her. In return, if she succeeds, she will receive money and also get grades. Ginny asks how many people they need, and Emmy does not answer her, but takes our heroine to do auditions. She turns out to be excellent, and the director is impressed and tells her she has a high chance of getting the role. When she comes out, Ginny keeps encouraging her and telling her she was amazing. By coincidence, they meet Tao, who offers them lunch, but Ginny refuses and says her mother is ill and she needs to go see her. Our heroine lets her do as she wishes. Ginny returns home late and finds our heroine waiting so they can eat together. She says she could have taken advantage of the opportunity, and they talk a bit together. Right away, Ginny learns that our heroine likes Tao, so she tells her, "Do not worry. As Ginny, I do not like him at all, and he is not my type at all. And it is good that the two of you will be together, because you will both be precious to my heart." Our heroine says it is still too early for all of that. "I only like him, and I do not know if he even likes me." Ginny keeps encouraging her and saying she is certain he likes her, and keeps praising her beauty and intelligence and kindness, complimenting our heroine. Because of Ginny's words, our heroine gets excited and sends a message to Tao saying there's something she does not understand and wants him to explain it to her. Tao agrees to meet her at the library. Afterward, Zach goes to Tao and asks if they can study together, but Tao tells him he has an appointment with Jamila today and will not be free to study with him. Zach understands he wants him to leave. At the same time, our heroine's mother returns home and has brought her some things. When the mother enters, she is shocked to find Ginny there and thinks she is a thief until our heroine comes out of her room getting changed and says this is her friend Ginny who is staying with her. The mother gets tense naturally and worries about her daughter and how suddenly overnight a girl she knows nothing about came to live with her. Jamila reassures her and tells her all the situations where Ginny helped her and says she trusts her very much. She wins her mother over and her mother agrees she can stay. When she goes to university, she has many things she cannot understand, and by coincidence, Zach passes and says he will help her. So she thanks him. But before he can sit, Tao comes and tells her he has just been studying that section and will explain it to her. She goes with him, of course, since she likes him, and leaves Zach. After finishing studying, she sends a message to Emmy asking about the role and finds that unfortunately she did not get it and someone else got it. She asks who, and Emmy tells her Ginny. Our heroine cannot understand how Ginny went to auditions when she said her mother was ill that day, and she did not say she went to auditions. She asks Emmy about it, and Emmy tells her after she left, Ginny went in and did her auditions, and she does not know how she succeeded. Of course, our heroine does not understand, but Emmy keeps telling her to watch out for Ginny because she is not comfortable with her, and she did not tell her she went to auditions and made her think her mother was ill, having a chemotherapy session that day. Our heroine starts to doubt her. When she returns, she tells her you went to auditions, and she says no, she was at her mother at the hospital who was ill. Our heroine does not feel at ease. She goes to Tao and tells him, since you know her from secondary school, did you ever see her mother? Honestly, no. After Tao finishes speaking, our heroine tells him that Ginny made her think she went to her mother, and then she finds her having taken the role she auditioned for, and she was supposed to tell her she did not apply. Tao tells her let it go and relax. It is obvious Ginny auditioned at the same time and they probably liked her performance, nothing more. He asks if she is upset, and she says of course not. I applied for fun anyway. Do not overthink it. We have exams and studying is more important. She says you are right, and when she returns home, she finds Ginny has prepared delicious food, but our heroine is upset because she was waiting for Ginny to tell her she went to auditions. She brings up the subject and says unfortunately she did not meet with someone else who got the role. Ginny gets tense and asks who. Before our heroine can answer her, she finds her phone ringing, and when she answers, she finds someone saying the auditions she did. The video was unfortunately lost, and that Ginny got a completely different role than the one she auditioned for. She is shocked because she thought Ginny lied to her to take the role, but discovered someone else won. She goes to apologize to Ginny for misunderstanding, and Ginny tells her she is not upset. She just forgot to tell her because she was occupied with her mother who has cancer. She asks her why she doubted her. Our heroine tells her she was influenced by Emmy's words, and she kept playing with her mind, making her think Ginny was a liar. Ginny gets very angry and tells her Emmy is not good. It is clear she is sensitive with jealousy because our heroine now has other friends while she, as you know, is isolated and does not want her to make friendships. Our heroine gets upset and gets up from beside her because, regardless what was said cannot be said, she does not care and goes to sleep because she has lectures. And after finishing, she sends Emmy a message saying she needs to meet her urgently and wants to talk to her about something important. At the same time in the lab, Emmy is assigned to do something and all her classmates leave and leave her standing alone. She suddenly hears a sound and gets very tense and scared and finds someone attacking her, hitting her and trying to pour water on her. She gets terrified and tries to defend herself until the very last moment, and she ends up pouring the liquid which burns onto the person attacking her. The person gets scared and runs away quickly. The nurse then tells our heroine what happened, and she goes to check on Amy. Tao goes with her and asks Amy what happened. She tells him she did not see anything because of the darkness, but all she knows is the person who did this to her. She poured liquid on them, and the burn will be minor second degree. Our heroine reassures her and says, "Do not worry, I will find out who did this, and we will get revenge for you." She returns home and finds Ginny and is surprised and asks where she was. Ginny says she was at her mother's. Our heroine says, "Why did you not tell me you would be late?" She says, "It did not occur to me to tell you." Our heroine tells her what happened to Emmy and says she does not know who to suspect. Ginny says someone might want to harm her, and Emmy is not good anyway, and definitely has many enemies. Our heroine senses Ginny is tense and unable to say two words together and starts to suspect she has something to do with it. Her suspicion grows when Ginny gets up to get a drink and cannot hold the water in her hands and spills it on her leg. Our heroine quickly runs to wipe the water and finds bandages on the same spot Emmy described. Naturally, she asks her what happened to her hand. She says she was in the lab doing an experiment and chlorine fell on her leg. She leaves her and goes to change. They go to sleep, and our heroine takes advantage of the opportunity and decides to see this wound because, of course, Emmy told her it would be a minor second-degree burn, and if she finds the wound like that, then 100% Ginny is the one who did this to her colleague. Before she can confirm anything, Ginny wakes up, so our heroine quickly pretends to be asleep. But she has a nightmare, so the first thing when she wakes up, she confronts her directly and says, "Are you sure the wound on your leg is from the chlorine?" Ginny says, "Yes, of course. Do you have doubts?" She says, "Show me then." Ginny gets angry and says, "You suspect me of doing this to your friend?" She says, "Yes, and to prove your innocence, you must show me your wound." Ginny gets angry and shows it to her, and when she sees it, she finds it is a very large wound that will leave a scar, not like what Amy described as something minor. Moreover, she pulls out a bottle of chlorine from her bag and says, "If you do not believe me, what do you think? Should I pour more?" Our heroine is very upset and feels she went too far and apologizes for suspecting her and says she is stressed because of Amy. Ginny accepts and says, "Well, I'm used to this. Throughout my life, people misunderstand me and blame me for things I did not do. If you're treating me this way because I'm staying with you, then fine, I will leave." She leaves her and goes, of course Jamila keeps talking to her, but Ginny does not respond, and suddenly she finds Tao coming to sit with her. She tells him what happened and that she made a problem with Ginny and doubted her, and Ginny is upset and will leave. He tells her keep going after her until she agrees to reconcile. He then goes to the restaurant to get something to eat, and she finds Zach came after her. He keeps pressuring her to agree to be with him. She gets very angry, and before she can push him away, he reaches for her. Tao arrives and stands up to him, and they have a big fight. This becomes a major incident, and the dean summons Tao, and he gets into trouble because he is there on a scholarship. When he goes to check on our heroine, she notices he is tense and asks him about it. He tells her he is afraid his scholarship will be taken from him. Ginny tells him to be careful because his family would make a big problem if they found out something like this. On the subject of family, our heroine tells Tao she urgently wants to visit Ginny's mother because she does not see her at all, not even a photo of them together on her phone. He says he will find a free time and take her. Suddenly, Emmy arrives and tells her to go check the cameras. Jamila goes with her, but unfortunately it is dark and nothing is visible on the camera at all. She tells her to try to remember anything else. Emmy tells her the person who did this to her was wearing a chain in the shape of a star that shone in the darkness. Suddenly, Ginny appears before them and she is wearing the exact same chain. Before we continue, I think you forgot to hit the like button. Press like now, my friend, and subscribe now. Because Emmy was still describing its features, she is shocked and says she is the one who tried to assault me. She is the one who tried to hit me. Of course, Ginny defends herself and says, am I the only one wearing this chain? 50 others in the college are wearing it. As long as you have no proof, please do not accuse me because your words mean nothing to me. Emmy gets angry and asks our heroine, are you believing her and doubting me? Our heroine does not respond, and Emmy gets angry and tells her, you believe someone you have known for a few days and doubted a childhood friend who grew up with you, and you cannot believe her. Well, Ginny is good, but only on the outside, and I saved you from her many times, and you will not wake up until it hits you hard. Our heroine defends Ginny and tells Emmy, do not blow this up so much. Why would she harm you? What did you do to her? Emmy tells her, because you got close to me and we are friends. Our heroine says it would not go to this extent, and besides I saw the wound and you said it would be a minor burn, but her burn is first degree that had her going to hospitals. Emmy says maybe she poured more on herself to make the wound bigger so no one would suspect her. Our heroine says no, it is impossible, Ginny would never do that. She is not sick to that extent. Emmy says fine as you wish and leaves. Our heroine goes to have lunch with Ginny and tells her she wants to meet her mother as soon as possible. Ginny says she will check when her mother is feeling better and will call her to come meet her. Our heroine says okay. Afterward, they both go to study. Our heroine takes advantage when she knows Ginny is going to see her mother and follows her without her noticing until she reaches the house Ginny lives in and sees Ginny with her mother, and her mother looks perfectly normal with beautiful hair and does not look at all ill. Our heroine stands frozen in place, not understanding why Ginny lied to her. Ginny closes the door and notices her and is shocked and asks what she is doing here. Our heroine tells her she came after her because she felt she was lying from the beginning and her mother turned out to be fine and not ill. Ginny defends herself and says her mother is not well at all and she is misunderstanding. Our heroine says, how can I be misunderstanding when I saw her standing on her feet? Ginny says, I was hiding only one thing, and that is my mother does not have cancer, but she has a mental illness. Ginny tells her she is afraid to tell anyone because she does not want people to bully her or harm her mother, and also the matter is sensitive. But when she notices that Jamila still does not believe her, she takes her home. And when Jamila enters, she is shocked because her mother's condition is very difficult, and her mother keeps imagining things because she suffered a trauma when her daughter died, and since then sees any other girl as Ginny's sister. When she has an episode, she keeps breaking everything around her and harming Ginny, which is why Ginny is forced to check on her every now and then and give her medicines and sedatives. She takes her mother to the room and gives her the sleeping medication. She then comes out to sit with Jamila, who apologizes for coming after her and for not knowing the matter was this serious. She starts comforting her and says she is by her side, and they return home together. When they go to university the next day, they are surprised when Ginny gets a summons from the dean. She goes and finds Emmy there, who says Ginny tried to harm her and disfigure her. Ginny defends herself and says she did nothing, but Emmy insists and says not to believe her and that she is a two-faced liar and a snake. Ginny then asks her, if I really did that to you, why did you not try to defend yourself and escape from the place? The dean asks Emmy if this is true. She says, well, honestly, I had drunk a little, but I was conscious. Ginny then tells them Emmy is a liar and is actually an alcohol addict and also brings alcohol to college. She also says if they open Emmy's water bottle right now, they will find alcohol in it. They open it and it turns out just as she said, and they learn Emmy is an addict. And she may have actually fabricated this story against Ginny. With this, Ginny recovers her rights. Emmy is very shocked and keeps looking for something on Ginny until she learns that in secondary school she was expelled from her school and transferred to another because they suspected she poisoned one of her classmates. She decides to go tell our heroine to warn her, but unfortunately when she calls her, she does not answer. At the same time, our heroine is going out with Dow having dinner, and Dow takes advantage of the opportunity and tells her he likes her and asks her to be with him. Our heroine is shocked and agrees. As for Emmy, when her lectures finish, she goes to the bathroom to fix her clothes. Suddenly, the world goes dark and the door locks. She gets scared and tries to leave the bathroom when she hears a voice calling her name, and suddenly water is poured on her, and then the person runs away. Of course, Emmy is shocked, and everything is ruined in front of her. She cannot see the person who did this to her because they were wearing a mask and it was dark. At the same time, we learn that it was Ginny who did this to her. Yes, dear viewer, Ginny turned out to not be easy. After finishing her terrible deed with the chlorine, she goes to change her clothes. But not at home, she went to change at Dow's house. The big surprise is that Dow and Ginny are in a relationship, and he is the one who was helping her in everything from the beginning. He put the alcohol in Emmy's bottle and also brought her the chemicals from the lab to put on her wound because Ginny told our heroine the wound would be minor second degree. It turns out Ginny is behind everything from the start and tries to harm anyone who gets close to our heroine. Nobody understands why, but we will understand everything soon. She is also the one who asked Tao to be with our heroine for a goal in her mind. He actually loves Ginny greatly and is willing to do anything for her, so he agreed to do this and get close to our heroine. Ginny is very happy with Tao for listening to her and tells him the plan must be completed to the end and have Jamila fall deeply in love with him, then break her heart and leave her. He asks her why she is doing all of this. She tells him she cannot tell him the reason now, but when the time comes, she will tell him everything. Afterward, Ginny returns home quickly to be there before Jamila wakes up. The moment she arrives, she gives our heroine a malicious look, and the moment Jamila sees Ginny, she tells her she has good news and that she finally got together with Tao. Ginny gives her a bitter smile and wishes her a happy life with him. She then helps her get ready so they go to university together. Since they are now together, Tao holds her hand in front of everyone until suddenly Zach arrives and tells our heroine there is something important he wants to tell her. Jamila goes with him and he takes her to the hospital, and she is shocked when she sees Amy. She asks Zach how this happened, and he says 5 minutes ago he was talking to her on the phone, and she told him something important and said she would tell him the rest when they met. But suddenly this happened to her, and they did not meet. He tells her there is something very important she must know. She asks what Emmy told him. He says Emmy, before the incident, told him she had been watching Ginny and discovered that in secondary school she was expelled. And this was because to take her friend's boyfriend, she decided to poison her. Jamila hears this but cannot absorb it and thinks Zach is doing all of this to push her away from Ginny. She does not believe him, and suddenly a fight breaks out, and Jamila leaves to find Emmy's mother fighting with the university dean because they are not willing to open an investigation to find out who harmed her daughter's face. The dean says when they found Emmy in the bathroom, her bag was beside her, and they searched it and found drugs inside. If she wants to protect her daughter's reputation, it would be better to resolve this quietly. She shows her the glasses in her hand and says Emmy may have been hallucinating or something. But Emmy's mother is shocked and tells them her daughter never took anything and Ginny must be the one who put them in her bag. But Jamila still does not believe it and sees Emmy as the one who is wrong in everything. Ginny decides to celebrate what happened and that she finally got rid of Emmy. She tells Zach and Tao she is inviting them to dinner tonight at her expense. They all go out together, and Tao brings Jamila with them, and they enjoy their time. But Zach is not comfortable with the looks between Ginny and Tao and keeps watching them until he actually discovers they are very close and not just friends. He sees them leaving one after the other and talking together. Zach tries to get closer to them to hear what they are talking about. Tao tells Ginny they are in a public place and it is not appropriate for anyone to see them. She says it is fine, she loves him anyway, and cannot stand this acting anymore, and she hates Jamila being close to him. Zach is shocked and immediately takes out his phone and films them to expose them. But Jamila happens to be unconscious from exhaustion, so he decides to postpone until she wakes up. But even when they went to university, Ginny stuck to Jamila and did not leave her for a moment. Zach knows that if he says anything in front of Ginny, she will defend herself or turn things around like she did with Amy. At the same time, Amy tries to review the cameras and sees Ginny walking in the corridor at the time of the incident and becomes certain she is the one who did it to her. She takes a photo from the video and shows it to our heroine so she will believe. But Ginny defends herself and turns the table on Emmy and exposes her too by posting a video of Emmy with Zach telling him she loves him and wants him to stay away from Jamila and cannot bear to see them together. She tells Jamila, you keep defending her. Why are you scared of her? He is your friend who was betraying you with Zach. Emmy tries to defend herself and says she was drinking at that time and was not in her right mind. And after she found out Zach loves Jamila, she distanced herself from him. But Ginny plays with Jamila's mind and says Emmy is a great actress. Jamila indeed finally gets fed up with Amy after learning she was betraying her and pushes her away. Amy keeps crying, but Ginny manages to stay by Jamila's side and tells her from today they are sisters. Jamila is overjoyed and tells her she is her only sister and has no one else in the world, not even her father and mother, since their relationship has deteriorated. When Jamila returns home, she finds her father waiting for her. She tells him, what brought you? You did not even think to pick up the phone and call me. He says he has been calling her for more than 2 weeks and she does not answer. She is surprised and goes to check what the problem is and finds she has blocked him without remembering doing it. Her father gets angry when he finds she blocked him and decides to completely cut off his relationship with her. At the same time, Tao starts feeling guilty about Jamila and tries to convince Ginny to stop what she is doing to her. But Ginny gets very angry and tells him, why are you saying this? Have you started falling for her? Do you no longer love me? Tao tells her, of course not. I could never love any girl other than you. But at the same time, I feel sorry for Jamila because she trusts us and has no friends left around her except us. If anything happens to her, who will be there for her? Ginny responds with spite and says, I do not want anyone to be there for her. I want her to fall and find no one to pick her up. Understood or not? He tells her, I will do what you want. The important thing in the end is that as you promised me after I break her heart, we will be together and everyone will know our love story. She tells him, of course, once I finish with her and break her heart, I will be with you. She then leaves Tao and puts on her mask of innocence and goes back home to find our heroine sitting there devastated and upset. She tells her that her father was here and she discovered she had blocked him and he was upset with her because he had been calling her and she thought he was ignoring her. She says, honestly, I do not even remember ever doing something like that. Ginny gets very tense and tells her, do you not remember? I remember when you came over one day and had been drinking and were upset with him and kept talking about him in a terrible way and you went and blocked him and were about to delete his number too. But I told you no. Whatever your father has done, our naive heroine believes her completely and sees Ginny as an angel and feels her life without her is worthless. At the same time, Zach tries to contact our heroine, but she does not respond to him at all. He calls Ginny since Jamila is in the bathroom and Ginny answers. He tells her he urgently needs to reach our heroine and when she comes out of the bathroom to have her call him. But the wicked Ginny deletes the last call, so Jamila does not know Zach called. When Jamila asks her who she was talking to, she tells her she was calling her mother to check on her. Jamila, of course, believes her and thinks nothing of it. Ginny then tells Jamila she is going to spend some time with her mother today, but she is lying and goes out with Tao, and they go to an amusement park and enjoy the night together. At that point, Tao tells her he can no longer stand pretending to say I love you and I want to be with you. Get rid of this Jamila business. Ginny tries to control him and makes him understand that Jamila is the only obstacle in their love, and once they get rid of her, they will live a beautiful love story. He believes her because she has a hold over his mind. They sit talking and getting close to each other. Unfortunately for them, Zach had been watching them and had been following Ginny step by step from the beginning. He saw her going to meet Tao and film them this time. With this, he now has more than enough evidence that they are betraying our heroine. He decides to send her the video, but Ginny notices him and runs after him to take his phone before he exposes her. Zach gets in his car and she runs after him. Tao also gets in his car and chases Zach by accident. He loses control of himself and crashes his car hard into Zach's. Ginny is shocked and they are both horrified. They quickly call an ambulance. Tao is terrified that he might have killed him, and it is clear he did not intend to hit him with his car, and Zach just suddenly appeared in front of him. Ginny hits Tao on the face to snap him out of it and tells him to control his nerves, and that all he tells the police is they happened to be passing by and found Zach lying on the ground, so they called an ambulance. She also tells him to go hide his car immediately because there are no cameras on this street. He tells her he is ready for anything. Afterward, Ginny calls Jamila and tells her what happened to Zach. They all go to the hospital and Jamila keeps crying and is devastated while Tao keeps comforting her, and she does not know what is really going on. The next day at university, Jamila asks Tao about what happened and how he happened to be there at the time of the incident. He says he was just heading home normally and found Ginny on his way and decided to walk her. But she senses he is lying because he is very tense while talking. When they go to his car, she sees marks of a collision on it and gets a strange feeling that something happened and the two of them are hiding it from her. Jamila decides to go check the cameras in the area to find out who hit Zach, but finds absolutely no cameras there at all. This increases her suspicion that the incident was planned. At the same time, Ginny returns home and finds Jamila's mother there, gathering her things. Ginny gets angry and tells her to stay, and she will not leave until Jamila tells her to go. She tells the mother that without her being here, Jamila would have been lost long ago with no one to support her. But Jamila's mother says, of course, it is not easy for something to happen to her. This is my beloved daughter and I keep talking to her and will not leave my daughter. Ginny then tells her, well, since your daughter is so beloved to you, did you know she is in a relationship? She shows her a video of Jamila with Tao confessing their love. The mother gets very angry and tells Jamila to break up with this boy and she must come live with him, or she will not receive a single penny from her. Jamila breaks down and tells her she does not want anything from her or her husband and she just wants them to leave her alone. She goes to Tao and tells him there is no one left except him and Ginny. Here, Tao feels guilty and decides to go talk to Ginny and put an end to this because he does not want to harm Jamila further. He asks Ginny to wait while he is coming right away. Tao leaves our heroine at home and goes. Our heroine takes advantage of the opportunity and starts searching for something until she finds his laptop. When she opens it, she finds a hidden file. She opens it and is shocked by the number of photos inside with Ginny. From the photos, it is clear they are not just friends. And this is not a superficial relationship because they were in a romantic relationship with many inappropriate photos. She gets the biggest shock of her life that her only friend and her boyfriend are both betraying her, and they thought she would remain oblivious and never find out. They are shocked when they find her there. Tao asks her what she is doing here. She tells them she suspected from the beginning that something was wrong and had been recording. Ginny runs after her saying she is misunderstanding and she will explain everything. Our heroine tells her, explain what? You destroyed all the hope I had in you. I trusted someone as vile and disgusting as you. From today, I do not know you and you do not know me. I do not want to see your face again. I do not want to know either of you at all. Tao tells her, do not take her blame for this. I was coming here to end things with her. I love you and she is the one who planned everything to make you fall for me. She tells him, keep that to yourself. I do not want to see your face either. Enough of the performance. I will never forgive you. Go live your whole life carrying the guilt of what you did to me. She then leaves them and goes to meet Emmy and tells her she was wrong for not believing her and letting someone like Ginny come between them and separate them. She tells her she is not upset with her at all and also tells her what she found out about Ginny, that she poisoned her classmate in secondary school. The reason she did it was because she liked Tao and this girl was in a relationship with Tao. So she decided to get rid of her to be with him herself. She did the same thing in their situation, kept pushing away everyone around him until he had no one left and only she remained. She became his entire life. She does everything with him and he became obsessed with her and cannot refuse any request she makes. When she returns home, she takes all of Ginny's clothes and things and throws them in front of the apartment door. Ginny does not stay quiet and argues with her and says, tomorrow you will come crawling back to me. You think you will amount to anything without me? Let me remind you that your father and your mother are both unfortunately traitors. Nobody cares about you. They say I was the only one taking care of you. You were fine all along, and the biggest proof is that since I entered your life, you stopped taking the anxiety medication you had been living on your whole life. But Jamila does not weaken and tells her, take care of yourself with or without me. Now please get out. Her mother also stands by her daughter and throws Ginny out and tells Jamila to come back and live with them, temporarily until she reassures herself about her. The next day, when Ginny arrives at university, she finds a video of herself with Tao has leaked, and the entire university learned the truth that she was unfortunately a traitor who had been cheating on her friend with Tao and her boyfriend. Her image becomes absolutely terrible. It turns out Emmy was the one who did this to reclaim her rights, and everything Ginny had done before is exposed. Her reputation at the college is ruined and nobody wants to deal with her. Overnight, she lost everything. Tao, too, is about to lose his scholarship. The two of them are literally destroyed. Ginny cannot find anyone standing by her side, and even Tao abandons her and tries every way to return to Jamila. Ginny then goes to drink, and there she meets Zach, who is losing consciousness from drinking and tries to assault her against her will. She defends herself and will not let him and takes a knife and stabs him. She then coldly wipes the blood from her face and body as if nothing happened. But when she comes out of the bathroom, she notices a camera and quickly runs to the room and cuts the electricity and disconnects all the wires so nobody finds out what happened. At the same time, our heroine is very unwell. Emmy stays by her side, but time gets late and she says she has to leave. As she is walking, she suddenly notices someone is watching her and she runs away quickly until Ginny appears right in front of her and asks what she wants from her. Ginny says, what would I want from you? I want to kill you. Tells her, calm down. Have you lost your mind? She says, I am crazy. Let me show you crazy right now, and takes the same knife she used on Zach and stabs her. By coincidence, Tao happens to be passing and sees Ginny standing there crying and devastated. She tells him call the ambulance quickly. He calls and they come to take Emmy, but it is already too late. She has died. He calls Jamila and tells her what happened to her friend. She comes quickly feeling guilty and crying, saying she was late and should have been with her because she was unwell. She keeps crying until she asks Tao how this happened and how he happened to be in the garden below her house, where he found Ginny standing crying. She goes to Ginny and asks her what she was doing there. She tells her she had come to check on her, and at that point she saw a strange man wearing a mask running away. When I went to see what he was doing, I found your friend on the ground, and there was literally not a single part of her that was unharmed. Jamila breaks down and cannot absorb who could do something like this to her friend. She thinks this person is a monster with no mercy. She does not know that the monster is sitting right beside her and is the one who did this. And Ginny, God bless her acting, cries from her heart and plays the victim so our heroine believes her and trusts her even more. She stays by her side, comforting her. Ginny takes advantage of the situation and makes Jamila return home with her so she can watch over her, and says she is scared for her, that the person who harmed Emmy might want to get rid of Jamila too. Our poor heroine believes her and actually lets her come back home with her, not knowing she is willingly and with her own hands letting the criminal back into her house. Because of what happened, Ginny thinks our heroine has allowed them to be together again and return to being friends. But she does not know what is inside her, and that our heroine is only keeping her close to learn the truth about her. In the middle of the night, our heroine wakes up and hears the sound of Ginny going to take a shower. She opens her phone and finds a strange link someone sent her. When she opens it, she sees the accident that happened with Zach and is shocked when she sees that it was Tao who hit Zach with his car. She says, so you're all a gang, until she finds Tao calling her. She tells him, what do you want from me? Do you want to finish me off like you finished off Zach? Please try to understand me. Believe me, I did not want to kill him. He suddenly appeared in front of me. I want to warn you about something. You have to be very careful about Ginny because she is the one who killed Emmy. I am certain of this. Our heroine is surprised and says, "Is this a new plan from both of you, or what? Please believe me. If you want me to go confess everything to the police, I am ready, but take care of yourself. You have to make her leave your house right now, or you have to leave." Ginny comes out of the bathroom, and Jamila quickly runs to pretend she is asleep. She finds Ginny waking her up and packing all her clothes into a bag. She tells her she does not want to leave her alone and is worried about her, and at the same time her mother is very unwell, and they must go check on her. Ginny asks Jamila to come with her to check on her mother. Jamila listens to everything she says and goes with her, but she also takes a knife hidden under her clothes. At the same time, the police manage to repair the camera that was in the lab and see what happened on the day of the incident. Who killed Zach? When they review the cameras, they see Ginny. They go to show Tao and ask him to look for her. When Tao learns she has gone completely mad and started killing everyone around her, he calls Jamila and tries to reach her, but Ginny comes in and asks who she is talking to. Jamila gets tense and scared. Ginny starts suspecting her and snatches the phone from her. Jamila starts getting scared and goes to hide and looks for anything in the apartment to protect herself. She then finds many photos and articles about her father and mother and is puzzled and asks Ginny why these things are here. Ginny tells her, does she not know? Jamila says, no, tell me yourself. I want to know exactly from you why my family is here. Ginny tells her the matter was simple from the very beginning. I entered your life from the moment I joined this university to be close to you and take revenge on you and your family and make them taste the same poison I had to taste. Jamila says, why? I do not understand anything. Ginny says, because of your treacherous father and your mother, who unfortunately was involved in what happened and destroyed my life and destroyed my family. She grabs Jamila by the hair and starts hitting her. Jamila keeps crying and trying to control her nerves to the very last moment. Ginny ties her up and tells her, cooperate with me in getting my rights from your father and mother and I will let you go. But if you resist, I will break your mind and then I will break theirs. Jamila refuses and Ginny gets very angry and is about to hit her more when Tao arrives at the very last moment and saves her. Our heroine takes advantage and escapes. When her family learns what happened, they immediately take her home to stay with them under their watch because Ginny has fled and no one can reach her. She is also wanted because she is responsible for the deaths of 2 people and is suspected in a 3rd. As for Jamila's father, he finally respects himself and takes care of Jamila, and they sit eating dinner together for the first time in years. At that point, Jamila asks them if they know someone named Sira, who would be Ginny's mother. The moment the name is spoken, everyone gets tense and tells her they do not know anyone by that name. Jamila asks about Ginny's father named Kim. Her mother says she does not know him either. Watch out. She played with your mind and gave you delusions like hers. But Jamila's father reassures her and says, do not worry, she will not be able to reach you because the police are everywhere. And the search is still ongoing and he will install cameras throughout the house and they will monitor every movement in the world. A month passes from that day and Ginny completely disappears from our heroine's life. She gradually starts returning to university. Tao tries by every means to talk to her, but she does not respond, and the only friend left, and the one person she can trust is Zach. One day when she returns home and finds neither her father nor mother there, curiosity gets the better of her. She wants to know if Ginny was actually telling the truth and they are hiding something. She opens her father's laptop and searches for the name Kim and finds something. She then searches for the name Sira, Ginny's mother, and discovers she was one of his patients because her father is actually a gynecologist. When she opens her mother's laptop, she also finds a medical certificate showing Sira used to receive psychological treatment from her mother as well. She decides to confront them with what she found. When she comes downstairs, she finds the world is dark. She does not suspect anyone is in the house with her, but her instinct was right and Ginny finally appears and starts choking her to finish her off. At that moment, her mother opens her phone to check the cameras and is shocked by what is happening to her daughter. She calls the police. They arrive, but Ginny manages to escape without being caught. Her family arrives and she confronts them with what she found and asks them to tell her the truth. Her mother speaks and says she had been hiding from her, that Syra was being treated with her, but this is because Syra was receiving treatment because her husband was violent and frightening and she did not know how to help her. Jamila asks, what does my father have to do with any of this? She tells her because Syra was following up with him for her pregnancy since she was pregnant. But unfortunately, the pregnancy did not complete, and they suspected her father was responsible and filed a case. But of course, there was no evidence, so her father was not imprisoned. Kim decided to flee because his reputation was destroyed after he tried to harm Jamila's father and failed. But her mother's words do not register with her, so she goes to Jock and asks for his help, saying she wants to find the court papers from the case Kim filed against her father. When Tao learns about this, he begs to come with them and help, wanting to show them he regrets everything that happened. He also knows Ginny's apartment inside out and can help them. They agree to take him with them. The moment Ginny's mother sees them, an episode begins coming over her. She screams and breaks things and calls out to our heroine thinking she is her little daughter. Our heroine takes advantage and goes and sits in the room to calm her down while the others search freely. They finally find the papers and come down to our heroine. At that time, she tries to talk to Ginny's mother to understand from her exactly what happened and what made her condition become this way. She tells her she was pregnant with her second child and was following up with her father. Unfortunately, her father was a pig who was harassing her. She did not know and thought he was just doing his job until one day he suddenly started saying things like, "You are beautiful, and you do not deserve your husband." He gave her a strange medicine she had not consented to take. After 9 months of follow-up visits, she took the medicine and left. She found herself extremely exhausted and barely able to continue. Suddenly, while walking, a piece of paper fell from her, and as she bent to pick it up, a car hit her. This car was of course Ginny's father's, and instead of getting out to help her, he insulted her and fled. When she got home because of the impact, the pregnancy unfortunately did not complete, and she lost her baby and went mad. Her husband tried to get her rights and take revenge on Jamila's father, but there was not enough evidence and he was not convicted. He kept following the same pattern he had used before, just as he had done with Ginny's mother. Kim could not stand what happened to his wife and the way she literally went mad and kept hitting Ginny for no reason, so he decided to flee. Our heroine is stunned after learning Ginny's story and how much she had been suffering in her life, all because of her father. She feels deeply sorry for her, but suddenly Ginny's mother grabs her and starts slamming her against the wall. The police save her from her hands and they go to the hospital. Her mother comes to check on her and she confronts her with everything she learned. She asks her why she was defending her father all this time and letting him be free. Her mother says her father was not the best, but she was afraid of their image in front of people because she is also a psychologist with her standing in society, and if people found out, she would not know how to face them. Besides, Jamila would have suffered and everyone would have bullied her. Jamila tells her she cannot stand living with someone like her father anymore and she must choose either defend him from today and forget everything or throw him out of their lives completely. Her mother finally gathers her courage and tells him to take his things and get out of the house. She decides to stay by Jamila's side and tells her, "If you love me, let us travel from here." Her mother agrees and books 2 tickets. Jamila goes to pack her things wanting to travel in the morning, but when she enters the bathroom and turns around, she finds Ginny right in front of her coming to finish her off with a gun. And she was actually about to kill her, if not for Jack appearing at the very last moment. Unfortunately, the bullet went into Ginny, and unfortunately, that becomes her end. The police do nothing to our heroine's friend. More than a year passes from that day, and our heroine tries to gradually recover from what happened to her. Dow also keeps trying to come back to her, but she refuses. Her friend Zach confesses his love for her, and she agrees to be with him because he was the one who stood by her from the very beginning and helped her and protected her from harmful people. And with that, the story is complete, dear beautiful viewer. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive the latest videos.